Hey everyone, welcome back to this video where we are solving hard level SQL problems. Now this video is going to be a continuation of part 1 where we have already started solving some hard level problems. If you have not watched it, I would definitely recommend you to go ahead and watch it first so that the continuity of the series is maintained. We are practicing from the SQLpractice.com portal. So without wasting much time, let's get started with doing some SQL queries. Let's look at the next question. The screen. So it says show the provinces that has more patients identifies as male than as female. Okay, so from patients, let me first select the male patients. Select count patient ID province names from patients where gender equals to male. Okay, so this will give me, okay, it doesn't have province name, I'll have to use province ID. So this will give me all the patient province IDs, or rather than counting patient IDs, I'll have to group by province ID. Perfect. Now I'll replicate this entire query for the female patients. Let's run this part. Okay, I'm going to join this. I'll be naming this alias as male patients, so I'll be naming this as female patients. mp dot province ID equals to fm dot province ID, and I'll be selecting, let's say, this count as C1 and this, or count of male, rather than 1 and 2 I'll just name it proper, and this will be count as female, and then let's do CM, CF, and then mp dot province ID. Let me run this. Says there is an error near the MP syntax. Let me run this individually. Okay, I have missed the on condition. Run this. Okay, it's fine. Now I do have the counts and I do also have the province IDs. Now I'll just add a where condition where male patients greater than female patients. I'm just going to reveal the province ID. I will not need this. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to just join this with the province table to get the province names. Join province names on master dot province ID equals to province names dot province ID, and I'll select province name. Let me run this. No such column as master dot patient ID. Okay, sorry, my bad. It's the province ID, not the patient ID. Perfect, we have a solution for this as well. Let's go to the next problem. Clear the screen. It says we are looking for a specific patient. Pull all columns for the patient who match the following criteria. First name contains an R after the first two letters. Identify the gender as F, which is female, born in February, May, December. Weight between this and this. Patient ID is an odd number, and they're from the city of Kingston. So this is a fairly straightforward problem. Patients where first name contains the letter R, where patient first name like, I'll use an underscore because that's what dedicates the first character, like one character only. Let me do a select and star and see if this is working. Star from, okay. No rows to display. Why is that? Okay. The reason for that is we have to add a percentile at the end as well, because this is like just two characters in front ending with an R, but I don't believe there are any names like this. If you look at this output Chris, this is CH, after the R it has INS, so we'll have to put a percentile over here. Let's see if this works. It gives me an output at least, and says born in the February, May or December months, and I think birth date, I'll convert this to month. In February is 2, May 5, and December is 12. This also works fine. And weight between, says 60 and 80, add that. And patient ID is an odd number, patient ID mod 2 not equals to 0, and the city is for Kingston. City is Kingston. City equals to just make it to upper in case there are some funny edge cases with mixed casing. And we run this and we have a solution. Moving to the next question, it says show the percentage of patients that have M or male as a gender. Round the answer to the nearest 100th number in percent form. So it's asking basically to calculate the male patients out of the total number of patients. Select count distinct patient ID from patients where gender equals to male divided by select count. Just copy this without the male condition. Okay, let's see how this comes. Okay, we have an output, but that output is not correct. Ideally it should have a decimal value, but this is yielding 0, which means that the associated decimal points are being truncated out. That can be because both are integer values, so it's just rounding off to the nearest integer value, or the just ignoring the decimal points. Now this is something that can actually depend from SQL database engine to engine. However, to solve this, the easiest way would be to actually cast this as float. Just change the denominator. If we change any one of them to a higher precision, the value automatically changes. Now if I run this, and we have a decimal value. Now this, let me multiply this to 100. Okay, and I'm going to round this. I'm going to round this to 2 decimal places. p2, and we have a value. Let's rename this as percent of male patients. Oops, I missed adding the percentage symbol, so I'll have to do a concat just add the percentage symbol. Okay. Let's run this, and we have a solution. Moving to the next question. Okay. Let's see what does this say. For each day, display the total amount of admissions on that day. Display the amount changed from previous date. Okay, so let's look at the output. It has the admission date. We have an admission day and then the count change. Now, if you look at the pattern over here, it says first, so admission day column gives you the count of patients admitted on that specific day. But the count change is basically difference in count between previous day and current day. So between 6th and 7th, the difference in count is -8 because less patients have been admitted on the next date. Between this, there is no change in count, so this appears to be 0. Between 9th and 8th, the difference in count is 9 because 18 patients have been admitted on the 9th. So basically what we have to do is we have to calculate the admission date, the count of patients admitted on that specific day, and minus the count or subtract the count from the current date versus the previous date, which means there has to be one function that has to have the count of the previous day brought in so that the subtraction can be performed. And obviously in the first record we do not have any patient admitted before that, so this appears to be null. So this is a classical problem where we might have to use the lag function. Now let's see how this works. Select count distinct patient ID from from admissions and admission date has to be the admission date column. First column is admission date. Let's put that. Admission date. Next we have the count of patients admitted on that specific day, which is this particular column. I'll name this as admission day. Okay, now we need to bring in the count of the previous date in the next column. For that I'll use the lag function. Lag, let's say count patient ID over order by admission day as prev count. Let's see if this works. Admission day. Okay, order by, it's the alias doesn't appear over here, and I'll have to just, sorry, I'll have to just use admission date, not admission day. Okay, I didn't put the grouping, so it grouped over the entire query, group by 1. Okay, So we have the previous count. Now all I need to do is a subtraction. So I'll just use this as a subquery and just select admission date to select the admission day, and I'm going to select admission day minus prev count from this table, and rename this as admission count change. Let's run this, and perfect. Moving along to the next question. Says sort the province names in ascending order in a way that the province Ontario always appears on the top. Okay, so if I look at the output, everything is sorted except for Ontario. So we have to have Ontario at the very top, followed by all the other province names. Let's see how we can do this. Select province name from province names, order by. Now this is a classical case where we can actually use a case statement in the order by clause. So case when province name equals to Ontario, then 0, else 1, and as end. I don't need to name this as a column because this is just an ordering clause, followed by province name AC ascending. So basically what I'm doing is I am using two conditions for the ordering. The first condition, I am by default putting the value of order for Ontario 0, which means that come what come may, Ontario will always be the first record that will be coming up, and everything else is coming up as 1. Now what the SQL statement is supposed to do is, since all the other province names is coming as 1, it's going to look at the second ordering clause for ordering the rest of them, basically ordering the ones which have the same order value, which is 1. So that's where I'm naming the province names ascending as the second clause. Let's see if this works. Perfect, this works fine. Moving along. This is the final problem in my set of hard questions for SQL. Let's see what this says. We need a breakdown of the total amount of admissions each doctor has started each year. Show the doctor ID, doctor full name, specialty, year, total admissions for that year. Okay, so let's look at the output. This doctor ID, doctor name, specialty, selected year, total admissions. Okay, let's say select from admissions, join doctors on aliases as A, aliases as D, on A dot doctor ID equals to, no, I think admissions as attending doctor ID equals to D dot doctor ID. Okay, I've joined this. it says the breakdown. So doctor ID d dot doctor ID, and then we also have doctor name. Doctor name appears to be the concatenation of the first name and the last name, so we'll have to have concat d dot first name. We have to have a space in between. That's what this appears to be. D dot last name as doctor name. Let's see how am I coming along for this. I'll just run the SQL query to check everything is fine till here. Okay, things seem to be fine. Next we have specialty selected here, d dot specialty selected year. I think selected year is probably going to be year of total admissions. Show doctor ID, doctor full name, specialty, year. Okay, I think this is probably going to be the year of admission for the patient, and followed by total admissions in that year. It's going to be, although the statement is not explicitly saying what this selected year is, total amount of admissions each doctor started each year. Okay, so it will be year admission date as selected year, and then count distinct patient ID, okay, as total admissions. Perfect. Now let me run this. Okay, there is a problem. My output is just showing me one doctor. Okay, that's because I didn't do the group by. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 or 4. We have the selected year coming Claude Walls, internist, 2018, 2019, 105, total admissions. Thing seems to be fine. Then what is the error? It says doctor ID, doctor name. Something appears to be amiss over here. Okay, if we compare the outputs, we can see that there is some discrepancy in the output. We have total admissions of Claude Walls as 105, then 109, then the third one 104. This does not match with Joshua Green of 2018, which we're calculating as 102. So my guess is that because we are selecting the distinct patient ID, that's why this number is going amiss. Let me actually remove the distinct patient ID and see if this works. And it works fine. So it seems like The reason for that was maybe there are instances where the same patient has been admitted multiple times in the same year. And if that is the case, if you put a distinct patient ID in the count clause, your query is not going to yield the right result. So this is something that's not mentioned explicitly in the question, ideally should have been. But anyways, we are still having a solution for this as per the expectations in the data. I hope the two-part video really helped sharpen some of your SQL coding skills. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if there is any solution to any problem that you feel could have been done in a more optimized way, which you believe might be a better solution to the one that has been given in this video, don't forget to put it in the comment section. Please keep following this channel for more such content. Thank you.